Welcome back to the chemistry session. Let's continue our journey of the topic of chapter of mole concept. Now we have completed the two lectures, and in our previous lecture we had gone through the concept of isotopes, right? Now in isotopes we had understood the two types of definitions of isotopes. Now the point is, why did we understood the isotope? Why did we take the topic of isotope? I had told you that atomic mass should be the integral multiple of mass of proton or mass of neutron, right? But then we had seen that there were some values of atomic mass of some elements which were fractional, or we can say which had the decimal point. So for that thing, to understand that thing, that why we have the decimal points in the atomic mass, we started the topic of isotopes, right? So we'll continue our journey from that point onwards, and we'll solve some questions and we'll learn the new topics. Now before jumping to the topic, let me give you a brief introduction about myself. I am Karan and I'm an IIT Varanasi graduate. So from the moment of my graduation, I'm teaching chemistry to students who wants to crack JEE as well as NEET. Right. So let's go to the topic. So far we have covered so these were our objectives in this chapter. So far we have covered mole concept, atomic mass unit, isotopes. Right. We are at the isotopes. So we'll continue our journey from here, and we will try to cover the isotones, isoelectronic species and isobars today. Right? So let's go ahead. Now all these things were covered. Yes. So we have to cover the isotopes. Yes. So remember, I had given you this example. Just a second. Yes. Yes, remember I had given you this example of isotopes, that I have told you that there is another definition of isotopes, which is the isotopes are the atoms of same elements having same number of protons but different number of neutrons. This is one of the definition which was given to you. Right. Now after that I had told you another example. I had given you the example also. Just a second. Yes. Just a second. Yes, I had given the example of isotopes also. In the case of chlorine, right? I had told you that chlorine atom has two isotopes. One having the mass number of 35 and other having the mass number of 37. Also it was told to you that 75% and 25%. These are the natural abundances. These are the natural abundances of the isotope elements, right? Or we can say isotopic atoms. So 75% means what? That means the chlorine atoms having 35 atomic mass number, are 75% available, whereas the chlorine atoms having 37 mass number are just 25% available in nature. And I had you given an example by taking a box container having 100 chlorine atoms. Out of those 100 chlorine atoms, 75 chlorine atoms will be those chlorine atoms which will have 35 mass number, whereas 37 chlorine atoms will be those numbers which will have the 25% of the what? Mass number, right? So this is the idea about the isotopes. Also you can see, I have told you that isotopes means what? Having same number of protons but different number of neutrons. So you see in the case of chlorine, we have 17 protons here and 17 protons here. But in the case of Cl35, we have 18 neutrons. In the case of Cl37, we have 20 neutrons. Right? So this is another way we can define the isotopes. Having same number of protons but different number of neutrons. Right? Now let's do the example. Let's solve this question. Question says calculate the atomic mass, or we can say average atomic mass of chlorine atom using the following data. Now I have told you that 35 Cl35 atoms, they exist in nature having the natural abundance of 75%, whereas this one 37 Cl, it is present in nature with the natural abundance of 25%, approx 25%, right? You can take this 75.77 as 75%. So we need to calculate the average atomic mass. Average atomic mass. So the formula of average atomic mass is what? The formula of average atomic mass is equal to what? It is equal to mass number that is mass number 1, right? Mass number 1 into natural abundance, into percent natural abundance, or we can say, just a second, we can say this way also, that mass number I, yes, mass number I into natural abundance summation. This sign means what? This sign means sum. This sign means sum, right? Sum of the mass number into percent natural abundance, right? So that means if we have to calculate the average atomic mass of chlorine atom, so it will be 35 into 75%. I have taken the approx 75%. So 35 into 75% plus 37 into 25%. Right, we can write like this. So it will be equal to what? It will be 35 into 75 by 100 plus 37 into 25 by 100. Right? It will be like this. 25 by 100. Now it's a simple calculation. So I will do one thing. I will write like this. You can write it like this. Yes. It is equal to what? It is equal to, now 75 by 100 means what? You can cut it by 25. 25 3, 25 4, 25 1, 25 4. So this is equal to 35 into 3 by 4 plus 37 into 1 by 4. Right. So this is equal to what? 35 into 3, how much it is? It is equal to 105. So 105 plus 37 by 4. So it is equal to what? This is equal to 142. Just a second. Yes. This is equal to 142 by 4. So you divide it, you will get the answer. It will be how much? 35.5. So this is my average atomic mass of chlorine atoms. Right? This is my average atomic mass of chlorine atoms. So all you need to do is this thing. You need to apply the average atomic mass formula, which is equal to mass number into percent natural abundance. Mass number into percent natural abundance. So you need to understand that always use this percentage. Right? So mass number 35 into 75% plus 37 into 25%. So this is equal to 35 into 75 by 100 plus 37 into 25 by 100. Then you solve it and you will get this equation. By solving it further, you will get the value of 35.5. So that's why the atomic mass, the average atomic mass of chlorine is what? Average atomic mass of chlorine is 35.5. It's not 35 or 37. It is 35.5. Right? So this is how you basically solve the questions of average atomic masses. Right? Next. Now this question. Do one thing. Try to solve this question of yourself. It's the same question. The question says an element has the following natural abundances and isotopic masses. So 90.92%. Just a second. Yes. So 90.92% abundance with 19.99 AMU, 0.26% abundance with 20.99 AMU, and 8.82% abundance with 21.99 AMU. Calculate the average atomic mass of this element. Right? So same thing. Here also you need to apply the same thing. In the case of chlorine, we had two isotopes. Right? In the case of chlorine, we had two isotopes. In this case, we have three isotopes. Simple difference. Right? There is also a simple difference. Chlorine had three isotopes. Chlorine had two isotopes. This has three isotopes. So here also you will apply the same formula. It will be average atomic mass. It will be average atomic mass is equal to what? Average atomic mass is equal to 90.92%, right? 90.92% into its atomic mass. Or we can say, it's like this. This is the mass number. This is the mass number and this is percentage abundance. Right, so 19.99, take 19.99 as 20, you can take approx. So it is 20 and this is present in 90.92%. Right, then 0.26, it is 21. Take this 20.99 as 21. So this is 0.26%. Then we have 8.82%. 8.82%, how much it is? 21.99. Take is at 22. So you can do one thing, you can take the approx masses also. 20.99 can be taken as 21. 21.99 can be taken as 22. And 19.99 can be taken as 20. Right? So these are the mass numbers of one atom. These are the mass numbers of one element. Right? Suppose there is an element X, it has three kind of atoms. It has three kind of atoms having three different atomic masses. So I can write like this: X20, X21, X22. X20, X21, X22. So you need to find the average atomic mass of X element. Right? So same thing. Here also we will do the same thing. How will we do? How will we do? We will do this thing that 20 into 90.92% plus 21 into 0.26% plus 22 into 8.82%. Right. So this is the simple equation. This is the simple equation of calculating the average atomic mass of the element X. Now you will solve it and you will get the answer. Right. Which is the easy way to get the answers of such type of questions. Understood? This is a homework for you. This equation is homework for you. Try to solve this equation and get the answer. So whatever you get the answer, whatever answer you get will be the average atomic mass of this element. One more thing, that sometimes what happens in the MCQs, in the multiple choice questions, or we can say single correct choice questions, MCQs, what happens, you can directly get the answer. How? See, the atom with the 20 mass number is 90% available, and the atom with 21 mass number is 0.26% available, and atom with 22 mass number is 8.82% available. So that means majority of the atoms are this one, having the mass 20, and least type of atoms are the atoms with the mass number 21. You see, only 0.26%. So sometimes what happens, if this question has options like this one, like A option is suppose 20.82, B option is suppose 21.52, C option is suppose 22, and D option is suppose 21.9. Suppose these are the options, and we know that 90% of the atoms, they have 20 atomic mass, 20 mass number. So in that case, whatever the calculation is this one, whatever this calculation will give you, this answer will be close to 20. Right? This answer will be very close to 20. So in that case, if you get such kind of options, you will directly give the answer A without even calculation. Right? So such is the easy trick I have taught you. This is the one of the easiest trick to solve the questions of average atomic mass. Understood? Great. Next question. Now this question, try this question of your own. Try this question of your own. It has to do same thing. You have to do the same thing in this question. You have to do the same thing in this question. Bromine is given to you. Bromine has two isotopes. Just a second, let me dictate the question to you. Bromine has two isotopes, 79 Br and 81 Br. 79 is the atomic mass of one, or we can say mass number. 81 is the mass number of other atom, whose masses are this one, 78, exact, 78.9 means what? 79. 81 is 80.93. So same thing. Always take the approximation. Okay, it will make your life easy. Always take the approximation. It will make your life easy in solving the problems. And these are the natural abundances, 50.69 and 49.31. Calculate the average atomic mass of the bromine based upon these experiments. Ultimately, all you need to do is that calculate the average atomic mass of bromine atom, right? So your time starts now. Try this question. Take 1 minute and try solve this question. Take 1 minute and try to solve this question. It's an easy one, right? It's an easy one, so try to solve this question. The concept is same. All you need to do is same thing, right? All you need to do is the same thing. Finding the average atomic mass by using the same method. So just 15 seconds remaining. Just 5 seconds and I will solve it for you. See, the technique is same. Now we have how much? 79 Br. When I say 79 Br, that means what? That means bromine atom having the mass number of 79. And I have 81 Br. That means bromine atom having the mass number of 81. Now this is how much available? 79 is available 50.69%. And 81 is available 49.31. It is 49.31%. Right? Now same method, same formula. What is it? Average atomic mass is equal to 79 into 50.69% plus 81 into 49.3%. Right? Solve this equation and get your answer. Simply solve this equation and get your answer. Right? This is another homework for you. Try to solve this question. Try to solve this equation. Now the point is where the value will lie. Will the value be close to 79 or the value will be close to 81? See, 79, 80, 81. The 79 term and the 81, they have the difference of 2. 81 minus 17, 2. Right? The point is 79 mass number is 50% available and 81 mass number is 49.39% available. Right? 49.3% available. The point is both ratios 50.69 and 49.3, there is not much difference. Right? 50.69 and 49.3, there is not much difference in these values. Right? Just 1%. So that means the mass of this average, what we say, the mass of the bromine atom, it will be average of these two numbers. It will be average of 79 and 81. Okay, it will be just the average of 79 and 81. It will be nearly 80. So I can write that average atomic mass of bromine is close to 80. Understood? Average atomic mass of bromine is close to 80. How can I say this thing? Because the percentages are almost equal. 50.69, 40.93. Only the difference of 1.3. Right? Only the difference of 1.3%. So that means if you take the average, it will come out to be this much. Got it? Next one. So this is all about the isotopes. Now I hope you understood why the atomic mass varies. As well as why the atomic mass has decimal points or fractions. Right? Next topic is the isobars. Now just like isotopes are the atoms having atoms of same element, or we can say different atoms of same element having same number of protons and different number of neutrons, in a similar way we have isobars. Isobars are what? These are the atoms of different elements. Right? Isotopes were the atoms of same element, or we can say different atoms of same element. These are the atoms of different elements. Understood? There is a difference. So these are the atoms of different elements which has same atomic mass but different atomic number. Same atomic mass and different atomic number. So what does that mean? Same thing. When I say same atomic mass, same atomic mass means protons plus neutrons, right? But different atomic number. Now atomic number is equal to what? Protons. Now the definition of isobars is what? Atoms of different elements. When the atoms are of different elements, then different elements will have different atomic number, right? Two elements, they will have different atomic number. Atomic number of two elements will never be same. Understood? Atomic number of two elements will never be same. Simply understand this thing, right? That means the protons will always vary. Understood? Rarely it happens. When we have two different elements, their number of protons will never be same. So I can write this thing, that protons of two different elements cannot be same. Cannot be same number. Understood? The protons of two different elements cannot be same number. Protons will always be different. So different atomic number is equal to P, and same atomic mass matlab P plus N. So that means isobars are those atoms of different elements having same number of neutrons but different number of protons, right? Having same number of neutrons but different number of protons. So you see definition. Isotopes are what? These are the atoms of different elements having same atomic mass but different atomic number. But what I have told you, isobars are what? Atoms of different elements having same number of neutrons, different protons. So you see the example. In this example, you can easily see. Okay, one more thing. We are talking about mass number. Isobars having same mass number but different atomic number. So you see argon, potassium, calcium. Argon, potassium and calcium. In case of argon, you see we have 18 as the atomic number, 40 as the mass number. So 18 minus 40, we know the formula, right? A is equal to Z plus N, where A is the mass number and Z is the atomic number. So mass number minus atomic number is the number of neutrons, So in the argon, number of neutrons are 22. In krypton, same mass number, but number of neutrons are 21. In calcium, same mass number, but the number of neutrons are 20. Right? So the atoms of different elements having different mass, atomic number, same atomic mass, are called the isobars. Simple. It's a simple concept, right? It's a simple concept. Next are isotones. Now the concept of isotones is about the number of neutrons. It is about the number of neutrons. So if you go by the definition of isotones, these are the isotones are the number of atoms. It is the atoms having same number of neutrons but different number of protons. Right? Having same number of neutrons but different number of protons. Now I have told you whenever protons are different means element is different. If the protons are different means element is different. And if the proton is same, if the count of proton is same, that means the atoms are of only one element. And in that case, these are isotopes. Right? So now in this case, you see we have, just a second, we have sulfur, then I have chlorine, and then I have argon. So in sulfur, chlorine and argon, you can easily see the number of protons. The number of protons is equal to what? Atomic number. This is equal to what? Z. So sulfur atomic number is 16, right? Calcium 17, and argon it is 18, right? What about the number of neutrons? Now we know in the case of sulfur, What is its mass number? Sulfur mass number is 32. Its mass number is 32. Calcium mass number is what? Calcium mass number, it is 35.5. In case of argon, it is, how much it is? What is the mass number of argon? It is 38, right? It is 38. Now you see here, when you do the difference, 16 minus 32, 16 minus 32, how much? In case of sulfur, we have 16 protons, right? So we can easily see the number of neutrons here. What is the number of neutrons in the case of sulfur? It is 20. In case of chlorine, it is 20. And in case of argon also, it is 20. Right? So this is how we can calculate. This is how you can calculate the protons as well as neutrons in the case of different atoms. Right? And these are coming in the isotones. It is coming under the example of isotones. Next, just a second. Just a next second. Yes. So these are the basic examples of isotones having the different proton number, but same neutron number. Same neutron number. Right? Understood? Yes. Got it? Let's go ahead. Let's move ahead. What are isoelectronic species? Next is, what are isoelectronic species? Now, as the name suggests, isoelectronic means same number of electrons. Right? Isoelectronic means same number of electrons. So if you take the example, simply we have sodium, magnesium and neon. Sodium, magnesium and neon. Now we know in the case of sodium, its electronic configuration is 2, 8, 1. The electronic configuration of sodium is 281. That of magnesium is 2, 8, 2. And that of neon, it is what? 2, 8. Right? Now that means sodium has 11 electrons, magnesium has 12 electrons, and neon has 10 electrons. Now if I lose one electron from sodium, if I lose the valence electron from sodium, it will form minus electron, it will form Na+. It will form Na+, sodium ion. This sodium ion has the configuration of 2, 8. That is, has 10 electrons. In case of magnesium, it has 12 electrons. Right? So if it loses 2 electrons, if magnesium loses 2 electrons, it will form again 2, 8. That means 10 electrons. In case of neon, already it has 10 electrons, right? So that means that Na+, Mg2+, and neon, these are isoelectronic species. These are isoelectronic species. You can also write about aluminium 3 positive, Al3 positive. Because Al3 positive means what? Aluminium has how many electrons? 13 electrons. So if it loses 3 electrons, aluminium has 13 electrons, if it loses 3 electrons, it will form Al3+. Right? So this is how we can define the different kind of species. So far we have understood 4 things: isobars, isotopes, isoelectronic species, and isotones. Right? So I hope you understood this thing very well. Next is the molecule. What is a molecule? So far we have understood about the atom, right? We have understood about the atom, atom's mass, atomic mass unit, average atomic mass. But now we talk about the molecules. So what is a molecule? Basically, molecule is what? If we go by definition, if we go by a very simple definition of a molecule, it is what? It is the, just a second. Yes, basically if you go by simple definition, it is the simplest unit of a chemical compound that can exist consisting of 2 or more than 2 atoms held together by chemical bonds. Right? So that means what? It's an independent entity. A molecule is an independent entity. That means, suppose I have this beaker. I have this beaker which contains water. Right? So I can say that this H2O, which is water, this beaker contains H2O molecules. It contains H2O molecules, right? And we know the molecule is made up of atoms. I can say that this molecule of water, H2O molecule of water, is made up of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atoms, right? Similarly, just like talk about water molecule, we have carbon dioxide molecule. Now we know carbon dioxide, CO2, it exists in nature, right? And CO2 exists independently. CO2 exists independently and stably. Means CO2 is stable in nature because 2 oxygen atoms, they combine with oxygen atom, 2 oxygen atom combine with carbon atom forming the CO2. Similarly, ammonia molecule. Now in case of ammonia molecule, you see we have NH3. We have NH3. So when I say ammonia molecule, that means 1 nitrogen atom, 3 hydrogen atoms. Means one molecule of ammonia contains 1 nitrogen atom and 3 hydrogen atom. Similarly, oxygen. If you talk about this one, we have nitrogen dioxide molecule. Just a second. We have nitrogen dioxide molecule. Nitrogen dioxide means what? NO2. So NO2 molecule means what? Having 1 nitrogen atom, 2 oxygen atoms. Similarly, oxygen molecule. The molecule of oxygen, O2. The molecule of oxygen contains 2 oxygen atoms. So in short, every molecule is made up of atoms, right? Every molecule is made up of atoms. This is all you need to know. Molecule is made up of atoms and atoms are made up of electrons, protons and neutrons. Simple, right? Sure. So now let's understand the types of molecules. So if you look at here, if you look at this first category, we have chlorine molecule Cl2, oxygen molecule O2, hydrogen molecule H2 and nitrogen molecule N2, right? So you see in these molecules, the atoms are of same kind. In these all molecules, the atoms are of same kind. Only one type of atom is there. In case of chlorine, only Cl is there. In case of oxygen molecule, only oxygen atom is there. In case of hydrogen molecule, only hydrogen atom is there. And in nitrogen molecule, only nitrogen atom is there, right? So these kind of molecules are called, this category is called homogeneous molecules. This category is called homogeneous molecules. Homogeneous molecules means molecules having same type of atoms, right? Now look at here. In this case, what is it? This is my water molecule, right? H2O. Then this is my ammonia molecule. This is my ammonia molecule means NH3. This is my carbon dioxide molecule. Carbon dioxide. That means what? That means CO2. And this is my nitrogen dioxide. Nitrogen dioxide. Right? That means NO2. So you see in these molecules, in this second category, one molecule is consist of more than one type of atoms. One molecule is consisting of more than one type of atoms. Like water molecule contains oxygen and hydrogen, 2 kind of atoms. Ammonia contains 2 kind of atoms, nitrogen and hydrogen. Carbon dioxide contains 2 type of atoms, carbon and oxygen. Nitrogen dioxide contains 2 kind of atoms, oxygen and nitrogen. So such kind of molecules which contain more than one kind of atoms are called heterogeneous molecules. They are called heterogeneous molecules. So I will write it here. These are heterogeneous molecules. Understood? So these are the heterogeneous molecules. Now atomicity is what? So I have understood you, I have made you understand that we have what is molecule and what are the different kind of molecules. Right? So you see, in the case of chlorine molecule, there are 2 chlorine atoms. In case of oxygen, there are 2 oxygen atoms. In hydrogen, 2 hydrogen atoms, and in nitrogen, 2 nitrogen atoms. Right? In water molecule, we have 3 atoms, 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 oxygen atom. In case of ammonia, I have 1 nitrogen atom, 3 hydrogen atoms. In case of carbon dioxide, 1 carbon atom, 2 oxygen atom. And in nitrogen dioxide, 1 nitrogen atom and 2 oxygen atom. So the total number of atoms in a molecule, total number of atoms in one molecule is called its atomicity, right? So basically what is atomicity? The number of atoms present in a molecule is known as atomicity. So if it is this like this, then calculate the atomicity of these atoms, calculate the atomicity of these molecules, right? In case of nitrogen, you see we have atomicity of 2, oxygen 2, helium 1, sulfur 8, ozone 3, H2O2, 2 hydrogen, 2 oxygen means 4, C2H6, ethane means 6 hydrogen, 2 carbon, 8. Then P4O10, phosphorus pentoxide. It's a, we can say, dimer of phosphorus pentoxide. It's a dimer. It's dimer of P2O5. What is dimer? We will understand later. Just now understood, it's a dimer of P2O5. So 4 phosphorus, 10 oxygen means 14. Now whenever the atomicity is 1, it is called monoatomic. Whenever the atomicity is 1, it is called monatomic. Whenever the atomicity is 2, it is called diatomic. Okay, and whenever the atomicity is 3, it is called triatomic. And when we have the atomicity of 4, it is tetratomic. And whenever we have atomicity greater than 4, it is called polyatomic. So all these two are polyatomic. These two are polyatomic ion molecules. This is also polyatomic molecule. This is also polyatomic molecule. Understood? Understood the atomicity and understood how can we calculate the atomicity of different atoms. Right. Now let's understand the molecular weight. That how can we calculate the weight of a molecule? So the molecular weight is what? It is the sum of atomic masses of all the atoms present in the molecule. Molecular weight is the mass of sum, or we can say sum of masses of all the atoms. Molecular weight is the sum of masses of all the atoms which are present in the molecule. So if you take the example, just a second. Yes. If you take the example of ammonia, NH3. So here NH3. Now NH3 has 1 nitrogen plus 3 hydrogen. It has 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogen. One molecule of ammonia has 3 hydrogen atoms, 1 nitrogen atom. So we can do one thing, we can calculate the molecular mass of ammonia molecule by calculating and adding the atomic masses of nitrogen and hydrogen. So one nitrogen atom has how much mass? It is 14 AMU, right? And what is the mass of one hydrogen atom? One nitrogen has 14 AMU. What is the mass of one hydrogen atom? It is 1 AMU. But we have 3 atoms, so it is 3 into 1 AMU. So this is equal to what? This is equal to 17 AMU. Right? This is equal to 17 AMU. That means what? That means mass of one molecule of ammonia. Mass of one molecule of ammonia is 17 AMU. Right? Similarly, water. In case of H2, you see, we have 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So total mass equal to what? 2 into 1 AMU plus 1 oxygen means 16 AMU. 16 AMU. So this is equal to what? 2 plus 16 is equal to 18 AMU. Right? So that means mass of one molecule of water. Mass of one molecule of water is 18 AMU. Mass of one molecule of ammonia is 17 AMU. Simple, right? Similarly, these are the different molecules which are given to you. These are the different molecules which are given to you. Try to find the molecular mass of them. Try to find the molecular masses of these different molecules, right? Yes. Try to find the, just a second. Yes. Try to find the molecular masses of these different molecules. Aluminium oxide, this is what? This is called sugar. This is the example of sugar. Sugar molecule, right? CHSO4, K2CO3, sodium hydroxide. What is sodium hydroxide? It is NaOH. Then we have N2O4 and I have Na2SO3. So do one thing, try to find the atomic, or we can say the molecular weights of these different kind of molecules, right? Take this question as a homework. Take this question as a homework and get the answer. If you get the answer, good. Otherwise, I will be solving this question for you in our next class. Okay, in my next class, I will give you the answer of this question, right? It's an easy one. You just have to add the mass of different atoms which are available in each molecule. Understood? So, just for your knowledge, I am giving you the different molecules and their atomic weights and their, molecular weights. So simple, nitric acid means what? HNO3. So 1 hydrogen plus 1 nitrogen plus 3 oxygen. So take the example just like HNO3. So that means 1 hydrogen means 1 plus 1 nitrogen means 14 plus 3 oxygen means 3 into 16. So this is equal to what? 15 plus 48. This is equal to what? This is equal to 63 AMU. Right? So this is our 63 AMU. Similarly, phosphoric acid, H3PO4. Same way you have to calculate. Right? So just go through these different molecules. Try to find the molecular weight of each molecule by yourself. Right? Here I have given it to you. Just calculate by yourself and compare the answers which are given here. Similarly, try to solve this question. Right? Try to solve this question and then we are done with this molecular weight. Right? In our next session, we'll do one thing. We will try to understand different interpretations of 1 mole. Now this is very interesting. The interpretations of a mole. It's a very interesting topic because this will help you in gaining more knowledge and applying the concept of mole in a better way to the questions which you solve. Right? So after that, we will have a lot of questions and it will be an entertaining session. Right? So we'll do one thing. We'll meet in our next session and we keep our session till this moment only. Great. So stay tuned for my next session. Thank you.